everybody, and welcome to the second ever episode of Darcy's Diaper Days. I can't say the full word. I always say diaper. I rarely say diaper. I guess I'm just, I don't know, rarely ever serious enough to say the whole word. Do you have to have a bath right now? Apparently this is the only time of day where it's appropriate for Yowly to have a bath. So it's quite early in the morning, and I'm filming this early in the morning because I'm about to leave on a trip. So today we're going to be testing what it's like to wear a diaper on a road trip. So this is another activity that I think absolutely lends itself to wearing a diaper. It's perfect. It might even be more perfect than going to the cinema. So I'm going on quite a long trip. Well, long for me. I've not really been on that many road trips, but we're going down south. It's a pretty decent chunk of driving. It's about 5 hours away, and we're going to be stopping at different places on the way there. And we're just going because it seems like a nice thing to do. For this trip in the car, I've specifically planned my outfit, and I've specifically planned the diaper and everything for maximum comfort and performance. So let's get into it. I'll show you what my outfit is. So, for my trip down south, I kept in mind that it's going to be very cold. So it's looking like it's going to be about 6 degrees, which is Celsius. I'm not entirely sure how cold that is in Fahrenheit. So it's pretty cold. It's not frosty cold, but it's pretty cold. So I've planned my outfit keeping in mind that I'm going to be going through a warmer climate, going down to a place where it's going to be pretty cold. So I've planned my outfit with layers in mind. So I'm wearing a bunny hop. And I chose the bunny hop because a friend of mine was kind enough to give me one of them. I'm a little bit unsure about how the 2 tapes are going to go on a road trip. I picked a 2-tape diaper because sometimes with the 4 tapes, the leg gathers get really, really tight if I'm going to be sitting down for a little while. So I've decided to go for the 2 tapes in the hopes that it's going to make it a little bit more comfy around my legs. But I'm a little bit concerned about potential leaks. So I put a stuffer in there. You might have seen from the intro that I'm wearing 2 stuffers inside my bunny hop. And I've packed another one that hopefully I'll be able to find somewhere to get changed. If not, I'll probably just change in the car on the way there. I know 5 hours doesn't really seem like a very long time to wear a diaper for, but if I'm going to be sitting down for the bulk, well, hopefully for the whole journey, that's what you do in cars, you sit down. I'm going to be sitting down, so it's all gonna pool in this area here. So I'm planning on getting changed midway through, if I can find somewhere that I can do it discreetly. On top of my bunny hop, I've got a pair of tights. And I specifically chose these tights because they are quite high-waisted. And I picked a specific kind of tight that has a really loose waistband to it, so it's not going to feel too tight and seamy when I'm sitting down in the car. We're going for maximum comfort here. And because I'm in the car, I'm not super worried about concealing noise and everything, because I'm going with somebody who understands that diapers do crinkle sometimes. It's kind of their job to be crinkly and also to be absorbent. I don't know, diapers have lots of jobs. What was I talking about? Oh, right. So I've not worn a pair of shorts or anything over the top because I'm not super worried about the noise. And when we get out of the car, like this dress that I put over the top is going to be enough to cover, so you won't really see like a diaper silhouette, especially because of what I'm going to be wearing over the top of this outfit. So when we cross the state border and we start getting into cold weather, I brought a jumper with me, and it's a nice fluffy warm soft jumper that I can just pop on, because it's not going to be cold until like maybe 2 hours or some into the trip. So I'll be able to pop my jumper on, and then when it gets cold, then I'll just be able to slip my jacket over the top. And hopefully this will be warm enough. If it's not warm enough, then I have a scarf, I have a hat, and I've got a pair of mittens as well. I don't think it's gonna get cold enough for mittens, but I just really like them, and I've never had to wear them before because I don't live anywhere where it gets cold enough to need mittens. But one day, I will achieve my dream of wearing mittens. Now that we're dressed, I guess all I need to do is wait for my friend to get here. I'll see you guys in the car. Come on.
So we're in the car. We're on the Cunningham Highway and we're headed south. It's probably extremely loud. Oh well. But this is what the countryside looks like. It's very pretty. And we'll update you on some cute little towns along the way. So far I haven't peed, so the diaper aspect of this journey isn't really a thing yet. I'll update you when I've peed. How about that? There's your story. There's the real pyramid. Wherever we are, pyramid. Are we still in Warville? No, we're in Fassifern now. Hello, Fassifern.
We're going to have a lot of ferns. Oh, we're starting to get deciduous trees.
Ooh. So we've stopped in a little town called Glen Aplin at a traffic stop. It's a traffic light. Stop here on red signal. And yeah, we went through Warwick. That was the pretty town that you just saw just before. And we've still got 138 kilometers to go till we get there. I peed twice. I'm still feeling pretty comfortable. I might get changed. I might not. I'm just gonna see how I feel. But so far, yeah, bunny hop's kind of holding up. Oh, we're moving.
So we've stopped in a place called Tenterfield, and I honestly didn't know that these kind of trees with this kind of landscape was even possible in Australia. And I feel extremely emotional, and I want to have a little bit of a cry because it's so nice. Like, I know I'm here to talk about diapers, but look at the trees.
The bed moves. So we've arrived at our lovely accommodation. It is about 5 degrees outside. Short sleeves are not appropriate for this weather, so I'm gonna bundle the heck up and then we're gonna go explore. This bunny hop, strangely enough, is still fine. So far, it's like 2 of these on the how appropriate is it to wear while doing this activity. We'll see how I feel after I've been walking around, but I'm thinking it's gonna be pretty good. We're ready to go. I've got my mittens on, I've got my bunny ears, and I've got a fluffy pink jumper. Let's go explore.
Cleanliness, and it's bustling.
And everything, it's like Australia's answer to Scotland. It's a sister town to a place in Scotland. I need to look up exactly what the town is. But look, even the bins are Celtic. They have a Celtic festival every year that we've missed by 1 week. That's a bit upsetting. Look at down there, that's pretty.
That's the park that we're going to.
Yeah. So we've been just having the best time in this park. We walked up and down the main street and it was gorgeous. It's the most autumniest place I've ever been in my whole life. But I can't feel my nose because that's how cold it is. And my hands are all red because I put them on a bridge railing. Look, have you ever seen a more perfect leaf in your entire life? So a little update on how I'm going vis-a-vis wearing. I'm wearing 3 pairs of tights for the warmth, and the inner pair appears to have fallen down, and it's kind of making it feel like the bunny hop has fallen down. More inspection is required. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna keep adventuring because this place is so beautiful.
Got hit in the face with leaves.
So it got dark super quick after we left the park. So we got some Indian food for dinner and it was so delicious, and we brought it back to our little motel room, which I was very psyched to find out had a radiator, and I haven't experienced a radiator like this since I was in Scotland. And I went, well, that's quite fitting because this is like a Celtic region of Australia. Like there's a whole bunch of towns around here that are named after places in Scotland. Like there's a mountain called Ben Lomond, there's a little town called Glencoe, I think there's even a Killarney. So I thought it was only fitting that I bring somebody who's just Scottish to the very core with me to experience this lovely part of the world. It's Diaper. He's a Build-A-Bear that I got in Scotland, and he has a kilt on, and he's got socks, and he even has a sporran. And when I was on holiday, I used his sporran as a place to hold my souvenirs. So I have a pressed penny from the People's Palace, and I have a pressed penny from Calder Glen Country Park. I wish that there was a place that I could go to get pressed pennies here, but there's not. But that's okay. So on the diaper front, by the time we got back to the room, both pairs of tights that I had were down around my thighs, and the bunny hop was a bit worse for wear. I did not leak, which is very, very good, but I don't think that the 2 tapes stacked up super well to the walking around part of the day. I think that as I wet it more and more, it got super heavy. So I would probably say, like, I don't know, I'll go more into this when I do my final verdict on the activity when I get back home. But yeah, so far not the best. I'm very glad that I brought some 4-tape ones, and they're these. I bought these at Christmas. These are the special edition winter rears that have a snowman and a little bear with antlers on and a polar bear wearing a scarf. But it felt kind of disingenuous to wear those in around Christmas time. I think they were supposed to be Christmas diapers, but I was sweating my butt off in 30+ degree weather, and I didn't want to look at the smiling faces of a happy polar bear who's in a lovely cold climate because it made me angry. So this trip is the perfect place to wear them because it's 5 degrees outside. I would like to take a step outside to see what it's like, but I'm afraid that my hands would freeze off. I'll show you around the motel. Does that sound fun? Feels fun to me. Whee!
Let's not break motel beds. Little known fact, I went on this trip without my daddy, who's usually the one who tells me not to do dumb shit.
I'm your daddy now.
Today is our day of grand adventure. We're going to be exploring around the local area. So we're going to go to the video center. We're going to go to the visitors center and we're going to get brochures and pamphlets and stuff about all of the things because I collect brochures and pamphlets. And Sweet Fetish likes brochures for doing scrapbooking. So we're going to get some pamphlets and then we're going to go to the Australian Standing Stones, which is similar to the Ring of Brogdar in Orkney in Scotland. So we're going to go see that. There's also a strawberry and lavender farm that I've been told lovely things about. And yeah, so this is my adventuring outfit. It's not super bright and colourful and pretty, but it's built for maximum diaper comfort. So we'll start with, hang on. So I have my winter themed diaper. I put a pair of underpants.
A fresh one.
A fresh one. Yeah, I changed. I put a pair of underpants over it because the front panel of this one is the crinkliest thing I've ever experienced. So I put a pair of underpants over the top of that, and then over the top of those I have a pair of just men's jeans because they're specifically cut for people who have extra bulk in the front of their pants. So they fit really well over the top of a diaper. Over the top of that, I have a t-shirt, which was a little bit short and made me a little bit uncomfortable because if it comes untucked and my jeans are sitting down here, then you might be able to see diaper plastic. So over the top of that, I put a long sleeve jumper because it's not as cold today as it was yesterday, but it's still pretty cold. It's about 11 degrees. So it's a long thing. And over the top of that, I just have a flannelette shirt, but it also has a hood for warmth. And if I get too cold, then I'll put on my big coat over the top of that. And I've got boots, and I have 2 pairs of socks because my boots were still wet from yesterday when I went to put them on this morning. But yeah, let's go. Let's go have an adventure. Her name?
Phyllis.
Hi Phyllis. Remember how I said before that I got all my souvenir pennies from places all over Scotland? I'm gonna cry, I'm so happy. You have to be really strong.
Digby, guess what? You'll never guess. I found a penny! Can you keep this for me, Digby? And put it in your sporran. Now I've got 3 pennies.
worthy?
Nope, I'm not. I don't think I'm worthy.
Oh well.
Can't win them all.
We're on our way home now. We decided not to go to the strawberry farm. We drove past it and they don't actually keep lavender anymore, which was a little bit disappointing, honestly. But we had a really lovely day. We went and had lunch in a cafe. And we went to the Standing Stones, like you saw. And now we're on our way home. So I'll take some pictures and bits and pieces of like the journey home so you can see what it was like.
You can't pee.
I can't pee. I've had this diaper on all day and it's dry and I have to pee, but now there's too many things going on and happening and I'm keeping an eye out the window for horses and I'm just too distracted to pee. I can't relax, so I'm quite uncomfortable right now. I didn't usually consider the like bumping on the road and the road noise and everything would be such a distraction for me, even though it definitely is. So that might knock road trip a couple of points down the ladder for good for diapers. Horses! Oh, brown one. I really want a horse. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off now.
Sometimes it's easier to pee if you like stand and get into a position.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting down the whole time, it's hard.
Because you can feel something on your butt that isn't usually there when you sit down on a toilet. Maybe next time we get out of the car, I'll go and stand behind a tree or something. Maybe that'll help.
We're at the border.
We're at the border. Queenslander. Welcome to the Southern Downs. Thanks, Southern Downs. Welcome to the Granite Belt. Wait. There's two welcome signs. I'm a sleepy bean. We've been in the car for about 3 hours and it started getting dark, so we decided to drive quickly. Not quickly, drive straight through. And we're about 2 hours away from home now. We've just stopped at a petrol station and we stopped at a place to go and get some dinner earlier, and I was struggling to walk because that's how much diaper butt I have right now. I was waddling and I couldn't walk normally. So, but yeah, we're gonna get going and I'll check back in with you when we get home. Clouds!
I got Digby and I got Peapod. She's gonna help me do the debris. Meaning do the final whatchamadoodle, the breakdown of how I thought everything went. And I actually took comprehensive notes before I sat down to film this, so I'm quite proud of myself, if I'm being honest. So we got home really late, and as you could probably tell by the last bit of video that you saw, I was exhausted. I was so tired, so I didn't film when we got home. Instead, I waited a few days and recharged my batteries, had a rest, and yeah, so now I'm ready to break it down with you. You might have noticed I got to achieve my dream of wearing mittens. The only downside to that is that through achieving this dream, I discovered that I do not like wearing mittens. it is impossible to operate a camera that has a touch screen while wearing mittens. It's impossible to operate a phone with a touchscreen. What? Hush, puppy, hush. It's impossible to operate a phone that has a touchscreen with mittens, so I wore them for about less than 2 minutes before I took them off. Oh, and that's another sad thing that happened. So you would have seen that I got my souvenir Glenninus penny. Where are we? My souvenir penny. Bam. But Digby here got too excited while we were at the Standing Stones, and you tell him, Digby, you tell him what happened. I'm Digby, and I got excited, and I was doing cartwheels, and I didn't close my sporran, and I lost the other panties. I'm kidding, I'm not gonna blame Digby, it was me. The best assumption that I have is that they must have just fallen out of his sporran while we were at the Standing Stones. But that's just an excuse to go back and get some more squashed pennies and to add to my penny collection. So hopefully in the future when I do this, I'll be able to go and do more activities where I can find squished pennies. Yeah, pennies! So if you see my last video, then you'd already know how this is gonna work. I'm gonna do a list of pros, and I'm gonna do a list of cons, and then I'm gonna give a final assumption, like a list of final assumptions, and give a rating for the whole experience of diaper suitability for the activity. So pro number 1, the obvious, is that you don't need to worry about rest stops if you're going somewhere really rural and you're not sure if there's going to be any bathrooms around. Diapers are excellent for that, and it removes a lot of the anxiety around trying to find a bathroom. Again, I think that's going to be a common theme in this series, that it's a big anxiety remover. That it's a source of comfort for me to be wearing a diaper, and I have quite a lot of separation anxiety around going places without my daddy, because daddy's home. Wherever he is, then I'm home. So if I go on a trip, and even though I had a lovely time, I was still a little bit homesick at night time because I was missing my daddy. Wearing a diaper helps with the homesickness. You don't have to take down your pants and get a cold butt if it's cold outside. Say you're at a beautiful park, like the park that we went to. You don't have to worry about taking down your pants to go and pee and getting a frosty butt because you've got a diaper on. When I wear a diaper a lot of the time, just by virtue of having the diaper on, I feel really little. And when you're little, things that are exciting seem to be, or for me anyway, 10 times more exciting than they already were. So it's already a cool thing to be going on a holiday with your friend. But if you do it while wearing a diaper and feeling little, then everything just feels like the world's biggest adventure. And it made the trip that much more fun. Okay, cons, the not so good stuff. So again, like with the cinema, I found it really difficult to relax enough and concentrate enough to be able to go pee. And I saw in my last video that somebody made a comment saying, don't force it, don't try to relax or concentrate to pee, it'll just happen when it happens. But I was drinking like a considerable amount during the day. I was doing exactly that. I wasn't trying to pee, but by the time I got into the car, I realized that I had an uncomfortably full bladder, and because there were so many things going on around me, I couldn't pee, and it was hurting. So I had a couple of layers of tights on, but both of my pairs of tights managed to fall down around my thighs, and that was really uncomfortable. I got a lot of chafe because of that. Because I was planning on wearing tights over the top, I didn't think of doing anything else that would cut down on the chafe, like powdering my legs or using a roll-on deodorant on my legs, which is another thing that you can do to prevent chafe. It basically has the same function as baby powder. It dries in a powdery finish so that your legs don't rub. But I didn't think of doing that because I went, oh, I'll have tights, I'll be fine. But the act of walking around made the tights fall down, which then made it feel like my diaper was just going to remove itself completely from my body, which was an uncomfortable experience. By the time I got back to the motel, my legs were hurting a considerable amount and I was quite cranky. So maybe prepare to be cranky, maybe wear a diaper that holds less. I did notice that the discomfort that I felt when I was wearing the 2-tape diaper was less than when I was wearing the 4 tapes, but the 4 tapes diaper stayed up better than the 2 tapes diaper did. So it's kind of a trade-off. You can go for 2 tapes and less chafe, or you can go for 4 tapes and less chance that it's just gonna fall the heck to the ground. So that's your decision. But because it's a difficult choice to make, it goes on the cons list. Another con might be if you're staying in a place overnight, or if you're going somewhere where it's very remote and rural, there might not be anywhere where you can discreetly dispose of a diaper. So again, the same piece of advice from the cinema video, travel with plastic bags. Try to get opaque plastic bags. Say if you're staying in a motel and they only have those dinky little bins, put it into the opaque plastic bag, wrap it up, then put it in the bin, so whoever's cleaning the room, you don't have to worry about them noticing that there's a cute patterned adult-sized diaper. Okie doke. My pets are rude. My final notes. So I think diapers are excellent for this activity if you are on a schedule. So you need to get somewhere on time and you don't have time to be stopping to go to the bathroom, or like I said before, if there's no bathrooms around. They're very, very good for that. But also the chafe made the exploring, which is half the reason I go on road trips, a little bit uncomfortable. Stockings and the powder, they can reduce this. If you get stockings that fit, apparently both of mine did not fit correctly because they fell down. That is, like, the chafe issue is an issue that you can mitigate, so you can do other things to make it less likely that you're going to get chafe. So I think diapers are an excellent idea for road trips if you're going to be staying in the car. If you're going to stay in the car for the most of the time, you're not going to get the chafing issue as much, and you're not going to get the falling down issue. But if you're planning on making a lot of stops like we did and going out and doing some exploration, invest in some tights that fit properly or powder your legs. And I would definitely recommend 4-tape diapers for being up and about and walking around and stuff, because nobody wants a diaper to fall down. So lastly, if you travel with opaque plastic bags and powder and things, then you'll be able to discreetly and thoughtfully dispose of any used diapers, because you don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. Yeah, your mileage may vary. It depends on so many different factors, like where you're going, what the temperature is going to be like, what kind of diapers you decide to wear, what other things that you use in conjunction with diapers, like stuffers can make the diaper a lot heavier, so more likely to fall down, and the number of tapes, obviously, like I've already discussed. So I would give this activity, on the scale of diaper suitability, an 8 out of 10. I think that's a fair rating. It lost a couple of points because I was pretty cranky by the time we got back home to the motel. So, yeah, 8 out of 10. Fair ruling, I reckon. What? Oh, did you miss me? Did you miss me while I was on my trip? I missed you. Thanks for watching, everybody. You breathe so loudly. I hope you have the beautifulest day. Just the most beautiful day that you could ever imagine. I hope you have a day that's as beautiful as all of those trees and leaves we played in. Don't lick me. Pepper doesn't want to say bye, so I just will. Bye, everybody. Oh, and let me know in the comments what activity I should do next.